Welcome to the Cincinnati Real Estate Home Show. I'm your host, Tom Giusti. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty and the Lowry team. This is my co-host, Phil Knabe with Option Financial. What's going on, Phil?
How you doing, brother? Ready for another one?
I'm ready for another one, absolutely. Seems like it's been a while. Went on vacation for a week, came back, and I'm ready to go.
That was fun, yeah?
Yeah, got like Cumberland always.
Really? I did see the pics you put on Facebook. So
Yeah.
if you guys are following him, you saw some of those pics. Anytime that there's water and stuff like that, it just draws me right to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in.
We could look right out our back deck, and there was a lake. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
It was awesome. Really cool. Beautiful home. I'll try and post some of those pictures for you guys as well. But beautiful house. It was a great vacation.
That's awesome. Yeah, I need to get away. I got to do that. I got a boat to go fishing, and I've yet to get out.
You have a boat, and you haven't been fishing yet?
No. Well, I mean, I have. I've been sneaking away Friday nights. I get away for a couple hours, but no, 3 or 4 days. The year before the COVID hit, I was in Florida for a week. I was in Tennessee for a couple of weekends. Cool. So yeah, but with the
That's
market
awesome.
shifting, I might have a little bit more time.
Yeah, right. So what do you fish for?
Bass.
Bass. Okay.
Yeah.
Love bass fishing.
Yeah,
awesome.
bass fishing is a good time.
Well, cool deal. Well, yeah, awesome.
I've been so excited for these numbers.
You know what? Let's do that first. We're gonna go over the numbers for the real estate market. We are going to go over the mortgage update for the mortgage market.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a couple things today. We're even going to get a little bit of some banking tips for you for my banking days. Just some stuff that came up with a couple friends that I thought I'd pass on to you. And then I have a product here that you guys would probably be interested in for if you have any flooding going on in your house or garage like I do at some point. We'll talk about that as well.
Awesome.
And then, of course, our baseball contest, which still nobody has emailed me about, but
Really?
yeah.
I've had 2 people question me on it.
Awesome.
But I was, nothing.
Cool. $50 gift card for you guys, man. So right now, Phil's got it until that happens. So it's a good deal. So let's get right into it. The numbers. Let's look at the numbers. And you know what? Honestly, they haven't changed much. I mean, if you looked at a graph, it'd be pretty much a straight line.
That's cool. That's
so,
awesome.
I can go over some of these numbers from the 2nd through the 8th this month. Don't have last week's, but they haven't come out yet. But we had 1,117 new listings that were put out. That was in the month. Yeah, that was in the 8/2 through 8/8.
Awesome. So that's up a little bit.
It's up a little bit, yep.
Yeah.
But overall average, it's kind of steady.
Yeah.
Nothing's really changed. So 847 in contract. So if you look at that, new listings, almost all of those have already went into contract.
Yeah, so you still, what, $150, $200 for 200 numbers?
Yeah, yep. Looking at price reductions, 271.
So that's going up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's going up.
Yeah. And then price increases, which I didn't look at the last time, but we had 20 price increases.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means there's still, that specific home is going to get the bigger, or you just had a really good realtor.
Right. There you go.
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
That's so
it's okay. He could say it. I probably shouldn't, but that's all right.
That's such a mean statement.
That's all right.
Not fair.
So the one thing I wanted to kind of get into and explain something, I kind of grind my gears. And I know it's because we talked about this in our team meeting yesterday for the Lowry team, but we were talking about the national real estate market.
Yeah.
There really is no such thing as a national real estate market if you really think about it. I mean, the weather surface, let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Is the weather the same in New York as it is in California?
No.
Or Florida as it is in Phoenix?
Sooner or later, maybe, but no.
It's the same thing with the market. I mean, and I didn't really think about this until we started talking about it in our team meeting, but our market here in Cincinnati is not like it is in California.
Correct.
It's not like it is in Phoenix, Arizona. It's not like it is in Florida. It's very different, and we are not seeing that big drastic drop that some of those other cities are. Like San Francisco saw a 20% drop last month.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just not seeing it here in Cincinnati. It's a different market. So when I hear
the size of that fly, oh my God!
Yeah, that was pretty big. Did you guys notice that?
Holy
It's
crap!
about as big as my coffee cup here.
Sound like a horsefly landed on.
But the national real estate market, you can't really go by that. And I see so many buyers that are like, well, I was watching CNN or I was watching ABC and they said the market's going down.
Yeah. Yes, I've had people ask me that same thing.
I mean, you may disagree with me, you may agree with me, but you know what? That's just what we're talking about. We're talking about this specific area.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something that people go onto Google and they start searching for information and they try to tie it to the market that you're in. guess what? The rates change because of the market you're in. The limits change because of the market you're in. It's all sensitive to the area that you live in. That's just all there is to it. So, you can't come back a California house that's 1,000 square foot for 1.5 million when you have 1,000 square foot here for, say, 150,000. It doesn't.
It's drastically different.
Just different.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was looking at homes in San Francisco for a realtor that I knew way back in the day, and a 900 square foot home in San Francisco was like close to $1 million.
Yeah, I mean,
it was absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely. So you can't compare apples to apples when you've got such a different Louisville, Lexington, that inner coastline that's not near that water. Yeah, they're going to be a little bit closer, but even that is still different.
Right.
It's like Indian Hill and Loveland. It's just different markets. So it's just,
I was on the phone with a nice lady yesterday on the phone, and she wants to wait a couple months because she thinks the housing market's going to drop drastically because she heard on the news. So which news program are you listening to? Well, it happened to be MSNBC.
So, here's another thing that people need to pay attention. It's the winter months. Nobody buys and sells. I don't want to say nobody because that's not a fair statement. You are not selling in the winter months here in Cincinnati unless you have to. Because no one wants to rip their kids out of school and move them into this school and start all over. That's no fun. That's such a drastic. That's why our market tends to slow down. Does it still happen? Yeah, absolutely. But that's why our market slows down a little bit. That's why spring every year, since I've been in the industry 30-something years, that it's spring, summer, and fall.
Picks right up.
It's busy.
Yeah.
Because that's the time you don't want to be tracking through someone's house when it's raining and snowing and nasty, unless you have to.
Right.
Or you really, there's a necessity. I can't speak. I feel like Chevy Chase. If you're a golfer, you know that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's going to slow down in the winter months. It always has. Doesn't stop. Still a good time to do it. So.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely good point. So if you're needing to sell your house, you need to buy buy a home. This is the time to do it. It's right now.
Yeah.
And it's taken the person on average a couple, 2 to 3 weeks to find the home they want. That's just what it's taken. But you can still find the home you want.
Absolutely, the market is still there. There's still buyers that want to buy. So they still have that position where they want to move or change. So it's that. So.
But like I said, it gets me. I shouldn't say angry, but it gets me a little upset when I hear the news, national news, say, "Well, our market's slowing down." Well, what are they talking about?
Here's that flag.
He's just
yeah. Oh, I got it. I get you. I'm with you. 100%.
So anyway, if you don't listen to the news, listen to what's going on here in the Cincinnati market. Give me a call. I'll be glad to to go over with you. Give Phil a call. He'll be glad to talk to you about it. Yeah. And help you through that. So good. Glad I got that rested into bed. So let's talk about the mortgage market. What's going on in the mortgage market, Phil?
Okay. Well, the rates are, I don't want to say they're stable, but they seem to be traveling in the mid fives, and we've even got into that lower five a couple times.
Nice.
So there's days where they shoot up into the sixes, but then they trickle back down to that 5.5. So I don't want to say that that's stable, but it's definitely up, and it seems to be in that 5.5 range.
Cool.
So you're not too bad.
You think it's going to go above 6%? 7%?
God, you know what? They talked about making all these adjustments, and it hasn't affected our rates yet to the point where they've shot up into the 7 and 8. So no, I don't think so. But the graph is ugly at this point because it's still that 1% going like this between 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to really say. You don't get to what normally adjusts the rates is not adjusting the rates now, and that makes for a big kick.
It's kind of a weird situation. So let me ask you this: we're kind of getting a little political stuff here right now, but what if the midterms don't happen? What do you think is going to happen with the rates?
So there's a lot of talk. Everybody has their opinion on it. For me, every 2 years, whether the outcome is good or bad, to what everybody wants is the same. There's that fly, dude. What the heck? I want to kill it. I want to be like Jackie Chan. But no, so every year, every 2 years in those elections, the politicians, they say they don't have control of the rates. But somehow or another, those rates dip. September, October, November, December.
They have control of the rates.
So come on.
Yeah.
So do I think they're going to come down? Yeah, I think they're going to come down. Do I think 3s and 4s? No, I doubt it. But who knows? You know, when the rates dropped into the 2s, I was dumbfounded because I was like, I'm never going to see 2s. Guess what? We saw 2s. So there's really no. I'm not in control of those.
Yeah.
Pulling those chains. Somebody is. I am not. So. You never know. And there's a lot of people who study this and get it wrong constantly. But no, all these guys study the rates and they don't get it right either.
So the bottom line is it's still a great time to buy a house.
It's always a good time to buy a house because if the rates go down, you can always refinance. And there's always ways around it. There's no cost loans that we can get into. So if you want to buy a house, and then when the rates drop, we got you covered.
That's awesome. Good deal. So you got a plan. If you need help with that plan, give me a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about, I wanted to kind of bring something to sellers and buyers. So we're going to talk about now the 6 steps to selling your home, what you can expect. I'm sure we've covered some of these in the past, but I don't think it's not to this detail. So these are the 6 steps in order. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
What would be the first one? Don't look.
What would be the first one? On selling?
This is on selling, yes.
So the first thing on selling is contact a realtor so you know what you're doing.
Correct. And it's not go to Zillow. Don't go to Zillow.
Okay. All right. This is gonna. Every realtor out there is going to want to shoot me for this statement. I like Zillow for the fact that it gets someone who's searching some information. Here's the downside why every realtor goes against it and hates it. Because Zillow's information is not up to date, and it generally leads you down the wrong path on value and things like that.
Yep.
That's where they go awry. But other than that, I mean, they have some good data on there. You know, there's a boatload of them out there, and there's a lot of data out there. So I like that. So
no, I use it for various reasons, but first thing you want to do is, like Phil said, hire a real estate professional. Yeah. Call me. Let's put together an appointment. Let's get an appointment scheduled. Come meet you. Take a look at your home, and you know, figure out if it's going to be a good fit for you and I to work together, and find out a couple things. We're going to learn that here in a minute. But yeah, you want to hire a real estate professional. It's the first thing you want to do. You don't want to do this alone. And there's a lot of for sale by owners out there, and in this last market that we were in, you can pretty much put a sign up in your yard, and you're going to get an offer. But I think those days are over.
Okay, God, that's such a loaded statement for me.
It is a loaded statement, you're right.
Because here's the deal with buying a for sale by owner. You're not protected.
Yep.
You're not protected. And you don't know what you don't know to ask.
Yeah.
And that's where the hurdles come from. That's where the punch comes from. The next thing you know, you're forking out some dough because, oh, what do you mean the foundation was cracked and I didn't see it?
Or you're in legal trouble. That could get you into some legal trouble.
I mean, it's just, there's guys out there or people out there that have to sell their home for sale by owner because they can't afford to pay for a realtor. Guess what? There's other routes around that, so.
And there's negotiation. I mean, it's not always what you think. So
yeah, call Tom.
Call me.
He'll get you covered.
Price it right. That's step number 2. We're going to help you do that. We're going to run some comps. We're going to look at what has sold in your area that's comparable to your home, what we think it's going to sell for, and there's really 3 things that are going to happen when we list your home. Number 1, we're going to get a lot of offers. We're going to get multiple offers. We're going to have a lot of showings. That's a good thing. Number 2 is we're going to have maybe some offers, 1 or 2, not a lot of showings. You may want to talk about a price reduction at that point.
Yeah.
If it's not priced right, that's why you want to price it right at first. Number 3 is we get no showings, we get no offers, we get no activity, and then expect for me or whoever else you're using, hopefully it's myself, to come back and and say, hey, we need to reduce the price of this home. So those are the 3 things that will happen when we price it right. It's going to sell.
Yeah, there's some hidden information inside everything he just said. So you list your house and it's wrong, and no one's seeing it, no one's coming to look at it. You're priced too high. You now have an adjustment. You're going to lower your price. That tells everybody something's wrong with the house.
You don't want that.
You don't want that type of stigma tied to your house, because now people are like, well, whether it is or isn't is beside the point. It's the fact what they think, and that's where the curve comes in.
Right.
Price it right the first time, and that's why getting all the data. That's why realtors hate Zillow, because they see this information. Oh, my house is worth $500,000. It's a 1,200 square foot home, and you're comparing houses that's not comparable, and the next thing you know, your house is only worth $275,000. You're like, what do you mean? That's $200,000.
And let me tell you where I think a lot of the price reductions are coming from that we talked about. This 271 agents, including myself, at some points, have looked at past sales.
Yeah.
And we don't really look at what it was listed for, but what it sold at.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that some of these homes were selling for $30,000, $40,000 over list price.
Yeah.
Those are not very good comparables because it was such a white hot market at that time.
Yeah.
And it's not that way. It's still hot, but it's not white hot like it was. So we need to make sure we get your home priced correctly. So we get a lot of offers, and we end up bumping that price up a little bit when we get multiple offers for you.
Yeah,
that's really the strategy behind that.
Yeah. No,
right?
I agree with that 100%.
So the next thing you want to do, number 3, is stage your home to sell. This goes back to the 4-foot weeds in the front yard that I discussed many times here. Get the clutter out of the way. Make sure your home is staged. Pack up some boxes with your antiques in or whatever that. But make the rooms as big as they can be. Yeah. Make it look. First impression is a huge thing. When my clients go into a house, their first impression is going to be, I don't really like this. It's too small. It may not be too small if you would have taken the time to stage it.
Yeah, agreed.
So step number 4 is negotiate an offer. So you're going to get multiple offers, hopefully. And I'm, as your agent, going to come to you and say, look, here are the offers you have. And let's go ahead and negotiate those offers to be the best for you as a homeowner, as the seller.
I hear a lot of realtors out there talk about, well, we took your offer because you were the lending institution you had has a good reputation. Wasn't necessarily the best number. It was the how to sell it, the quickest sale, the easiest closing, that type of thing. So there's a lot that goes in there. And if you're doing a forward sale by owner, you don't have all that information.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's a lot more to it. Just because you think you can get the highest amount doesn't mean it's always the best.
Yeah.
That's pretty typical of getting yourself in trouble, thinking you've got the best deal. And the next thing you know, you're 90 days in and you can't close because there's an appraisal issue. And you're like, what?
Or you're going up against somebody that doesn't want inspections.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just, I don't know, that's just an open can of worms, but yeah, I agree with this.
Lots a lot, yeah. Number 5, plan your move. So, you want to get all your vendors squared away, you want to get your moving trucks, all that stuff squared away, plan to move on the date that you're going to close. So it's pretty easy.
With that question, with that one, I have a question. So let's say, do you put a window in there, or do you say that's the day of transaction and that's how it's going to be? And then what happens if there's a problem and now you can't close on that day?
That's a good question. I'll just tell you what I did from experience. I told my movers when I moved, these are the days that are possible for closing.
Yep. And
we can narrow it down as we get closer. They put that as that window in there.
That's what I was talking about.
Make sure your moving company, whatever, is flexible, and all your other vendors are flexible with that.
Yes, because you don't get to control the closing, because you don't get to control all the issues that get tied to a deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Titles, appraisals,
a lot of pieces,
inspections. There's a lot of things that kind of adjust and derail that closing date. So, here's my window, and then every day it gets closer, you start really narrowing down, and bam, that's the day.
I can tell you though, with the team that I'm a part of, the Lowry team I'm a part of, we're pretty much spot on the day, just because of the process that we go through.
Good.
Yeah. So if it's going to be delayed, you're going to know well ahead of time.
Well, I wasn't so much talking about the delay. I was talking about, because we try to close 15, 18 days, so we're way ahead of our closing
That's
date.
incredible. Yeah.
So we just sit here and wait, like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, well, we're closing this day, and it's like 2.5 weeks away, and you're like, what do we do now? I'm clear to close. Why can't I get it done? So that was the window, not so much the delay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Being able to move in faster.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. Our goal is to move sonic fast, get you in there, make the transaction smooth, and close in that 15, 18 days. That's our goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
Number 6, finally, go to the closing table. Exciting, right? You get the stack of papers this high, you get to sign them all. your risk is going to hurt by the time you're done, and everybody meets the closing table, and you get the keys, and congratulations. And that's where I get the most excitement for my buyers and sellers that's at the table.
So what's your take on what we're doing right now with electronic closings?
Electronic closings?
Yeah.
I really haven't been involved with any of those, actually.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so we give the borrower the opportunity to do an electronic closing where they can just sit here and go through the paperwork, click, 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 with your signature.
I think that's awesome. They can do that. That'd be awesome.
It is cool. You don't have to go to the table to close the loan. It's all done. The sellers do their side, you do your side, and the round table is.
There's something though, I appreciate that. I think that would be awesome. There's something about the closing table.
Yeah.
The feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of this is done, that all this hard work is getting documents to the lender, of doing the inspections, all that stuff has really come to a close, and now you're a homeowner. I actually see people, watch people breathe because it's over.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate the electronic closing. I think that's where we're going.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we talk about different markets. Cincinnati is one of the last markets across the country that does roundtable closings.
That's what I heard.
So
it's incredible.
It's coming to an end.
Wow.
It's coming to an end.
So do you have any idea timeline, anything like that at all? Or?
Well, I mean, Option Financial is moving very quickly to try to give the borrower the opportunity to choose how they want to do it. We're still on a roundtable, or that's something we want to make sure that if the borrower wants the roundtable, we do the roundtable. They want to do electronic, we do the electronic. So
I like the option.
Yeah, I mean, Option Financial, they take their clients serious, so it's pretty cool. I think that's why I like them the most. Is the client does come first.
Nice.
So
Awesome. Good deal. So cool. Those are the 6 steps to selling the 6 steps of selling your home. Hire a real estate professional, price it right, stage the home to sell, negotiate an offer, of course, plan your move, and then meet at the closing table or your computer, whatever it might be. Those are good steps. So
yeah, cool stuff.
Awesome. So let me talk a minute about buyers. Buying a house. I've seen a lot of people do this. They go out and they look on their own. They're on a Sunday drive. They decide to stop at an open house, look on their own. They have no idea what the steps are, no idea who to call.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it on your own. As a buyer, you pay nothing to hire a buyer's agent, to hire a realtor like me to go ahead and look for a home for you. You don't pay me any money. You know how many people I've had ask me that question? How much you cost an hour? What's your hourly rate? Nothing. So call me. I'm gonna work. I explained to you last video. I'm gonna work for you every day and look for homes for you. But I thought this is a really good statistic that came out of Discover Home Loans released an interesting survey which revealed how prepared home buyers are for the mortgage process and the real estate process, and most of them are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
76% of those under the age of 30 are overwhelmed. 76% of first-time home buyers are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
54% of those buyers who have previously owned a home are overwhelmed. You get the picture and the theme going here. 59% of buyers who turn to mortgage bankers to help evaluate mortgages, or 59% of buyers turn to mortgage bankers such as Phil, or brokers such as Phil, to talk about terms and mortgage process. Yeah. So you don't need to feel overwhelmed. You need to contact either myself or Phil, and we'll go ahead and we'll help you.
Absolutely.
Take that burden off you. It's still an overwhelming process. Even in the business, when I was buying my house, it was very overwhelming.
Yeah.
But allow somebody else to help take the stress off you a little bit. It does help.
Busy.
You get
I'm
it?
not Jackie Chan.
54% of those buyers who had previously owned a home were also overwhelmed. I already went over that. So the bottom line is hire somebody to help you. Get somebody to help you out.
I have videos out there for each step. So when I have first-time home buyers and even realtors, I have a lot of realtors come to me to do financing for them. And the switch that they have, so I have one who's leaving the country, and she's like, when it's your house, the stress is so much higher. And I started laughing. I'm like, it's really not. It's just the weight of the change is what everybody stresses from. Make the information easy, do the process super easy, but you still have the stress of the change. Nobody can deal with that. There's no system in place you can make that change easy but you still have a change, and that's what stresses.
Let's just admit it. I mean, moving sucks. It's not a fun thing to do. So hire one of us to help you out. We'll be there for you every step of the way. Sweet. So I wanted to just chat about this banking tip really quick that comes up, or that came up when I was a banker, and it's really important, even if you're not a banker, but in any case. POA and POD. POA stands for power of attorney.
Yep.
POD stands for payable on death. We're kind of switching gears here a little bit, but if you have a bank account and you're married and you have a single bank account just in your name, you either want to get a POD, which is a payable on death, and name your spouse as the beneficiary of that account. Let me tell you what happens. I had an older lady come into the bank when I was a banker, and her husband had passed away. He had most of the money, and she needed to get that money out to help pay for his funeral because she had nothing. They had like $100 in their account.
Oh, dude! Oh, now we got Jackie Chan, baby. What's up? I knew I'd get you sooner or later.
I was just trying to be patient. She had like $100 in her account. Her husband had like the thousands. And she needed to get a hold of it to be able to pay for his funeral and all this other stuff. It was really a sad situation. She was not on the account, and she was not named a POD, and so she had no access to that money. We needed to go through probate.
Bad deal.
Please, I beg of you, I did this with all my clients when I was at the bank. If that's the situation, please get a POD on your account.
Yes.
Either your children, one of your children, all of your children, your spouse, whomever. That way they can access that money if you pass away or something should happen to you. Because if they don't, it's going to go through probate, and it could be months, it could be a year before that happens. POA, power of attorney. Some people say, well, I have a power of attorney. Well, power of attorney only lasts while the person's alive.
Yep.
Once that person passes away, it's done, it's over. You have no more power of attorney in that money,
yep,
in that account. So either get a joint account, which is the easiest thing to do, or get a payable on death, which will help because you'll be able to access that money once that person passes away.
Absolutely.
I hope that helps somebody. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, so that's why I brought it up.
I got it.
You got him?
I got
outside.
It. All right, I gotta throw it out. Yeah, you're like, call me Jackie, baby.
Jackie Chan. So it's a good idea to do that, to review your finances like that, and to either have a POD and a POA would help if you need that. Cool deal.
Finally, the flag is gone.
Any questions on that?
No, that's huge because all the old timers.
Hey, Shimmy!
Hey, when I die, here's my password. Go get that money out.
Ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's too hard, and you're putting everybody at risk for fraud or anything else. So do the POD.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Absolutely.
Good way to pay attention.
All right. Cool deal. Well, yeah. So once again, real estate market here in Cincinnati is
booming. Still there.
It's going great.
Yeah, still there.
Cool. So let's go to you make the call. Let's go over last week. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah. So this is our baseball little baseball quiz game contest that we're having. If you know the answer, send in your answer to Cincinnati Real Estate Home Show at gmail.com. And at the end of the red season, we're going to draw your name out of a hat if you got the answer correct, and you win a $50 gift card. If you get that name pulled out, every right answer, you get your name put in a hat. So,
yeah. Are you putting these on Facebook by chance?
I am not.
Okay, we need to put them on Facebook.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay. So if I put it on Facebook, you guys got to share?
Yep.
All right. Awesome.
I'm going to start putting. I will post them on there. So
okay. So you don't want the gift card?
I do.
So you make the call, right? Here we go. So last week's was batter bunted the ball up the first baseline. Pitcher, no, that was the week before. Never mind. This is last week. We already got the answer to that one. This is last week.
Vacation.
Yeah. So there's a runner on first. Pitcher's holding the runner on. Turns and goes to pick him off.
Yeah.
Overthrows the first baseman, and the ball goes into the dugout. Where's the runner placed? And there's actually two answers to this question. You remember?
I got it wrong. I know that. I did get it wrong. So, if he's on the bag, I said he gets second base. If he's if he's on the bag, he stays. If he's leading off and he's on his way to second, then he gets second base.
No.
Correct. That is wrong.
So it all has to do with the position of the pitcher. The pitcher throws the ball from the rubber piece on the mound. The runner gets one base if the pitcher throws it out of play.
Gotcha.
So think of it like he's on the mound pitching and he throws it over the backstop. The runner on first gets one base. If he steps off the back of the rubber and throws it, he now becomes an infielder. As soon as he steps off that rubber, he becomes an infielder. He overthrows first base. Out of play, it's two bases. So now the runner gets third.
See, that I did not know. I did not know that. That's awesome.
So he has to step off the back of the rubber for him to get third base. Because he becomes an infielder.
So even if he's pitching, he's standing on he's on the rubber and he throws to home. He doesn't even have to throw to first base. So if he throws and it goes over the catcher's head and it goes into the dugout, he gets two bases. What? I did not know that.
It goes out of play. Yes,
I would not make a very good ump.
Yes, sir.
There's no way. I'd be like, you're stuck.
Protest.
Yeah. I would not be a very good. That'd be bad.
You ready for this week's?
Yes, I am.
All right, so if you got that right, you got your name put in, but if you didn't, sorry. So here's this week's, all right? There's a runner on first base. Steals second. The batter swings or doesn't swing, it doesn't really matter. The catcher goes to throw the runner out at second base. His hand hauls back and hits the umpire's mask. What is the call?
Ooh, so it's some type of interference, I would think. So
Next week's call.
Oh.
We'll talk about
I'm way ahead of that, all right.
Yeah, so let me repeat that again. There's a runner at first, steals second base. The catcher goes back, hits the umpire's mask with his hand. What's the call? Where's the runner placed?
Gotcha. Well, I still would get that wrong, so I'll wait.
Cool. Well, cool. I'm excited. On Monday,
Yeah.
we're going to be live out at We're going to post it on Facebook, right? We're going to
Yeah.
be Facebook Live as
Yeah.
well. We're going to be live at Rockefeller's Pizza. You're going to probably hear this after this video comes out, but
Yes.
we'll be live at Rockefeller's Pizza in Sharonville,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Off Reading Road. We're excited. I am. It's going to be awesome. Our first live event.
So, Michael's the owner of Rockefeller's. Dude's awesome. New York style pizza. It's in Sharonville. I mean, it's.
I never had it, but I heard it's amazing.
It's in the historic downtown Sharonville area. Dude, their pizza is amazing. And those guys in there are super cool. They're really. It really is a touch of New York. So
Cool.
yeah,
So,
I'm excited to be in there and shoot.
awesome. Maybe we'll do it again after we see how it goes, and we'll do it again. And yeah.
They're known for the home of the bomber.
What's the bomber?
That's a,
Fly again. How do you get back?
No, I should have killed him and not threw him out the window. Look at him, he's freaking mad at me now. So yeah, it's the home of the bomber, and it's a really big pizza, and it's pretty good.
I don't have a tick. I'm just.
I don't have a tick. That's awesome.
So anyway, go ahead. I apologize.
No, it's just they're known for the home of the bomber. It's a big, thick piece of pizza. They do by the slice, do by the pie.
Oh, they do by the slice.
Yeah, they're really cool. It's a great.
Cool.
It's really a nice little environment down inside there. Yeah. So and they're super friendly. They go in there and say hey. They're pretty cool.
Awesome. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks, folks, for joining in. Again, my name is Tom Giusti with eXp Realty, the Lowry team. This is Phil Knabe with Option Financial. We'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.